Python's ecosystem doesn't stand still, and neither does PyCharm. Say hello to PyCharm 2026.2, a release built around one idea. Your Python project is never just Python anymore. You're mixing languages for performance, running notebooks, managing monorepos, and leaning on AI throughout your day. This release meets you there. I hate boring you with intros, so let's get started. Sometimes you write some code, it works, but it's slow, and you know exactly why. One tight inner loop chewing through millions of calculations. The usual answer is rewrite it in Rust. The usual problem is that it means leaving PyCharm, splitting your workflow and context switching constantly between tools. Today, we're fixing that. PyCharm now supports the Rust plugin, and this changes what your workflow actually looks like. This feature is currently in beta, so we'd love your feedback. First, make sure you have the Rust plugin installed. This project is a small command-line tool that renders images of the Mandelbrot set. The core of it is this function, escape count in compute.py. It's called once per pixel. For an 800 x 600 image at 500 iterations, that's 240 million iterations of pure Python. Let's run it and see what happens. That took a while, and that's a problem, not the algorithm. The algorithm is fine. The Python's overhead on a tight loop. This is exactly the scenario where developers reach for Rust. In compute.py, there is a line that, based on a fast flag, picks between the pure Python and the Rust implementation of the same function. Here is the Rust version. Nearly line-for-line identical logic. Py03 handles the boundary. A Python complex becomes a Rust complex F64 automatically. Previously, this is where you'd open a terminal, switch to Rust rover, or figure out your cargo config, compile, hope the paths lined up, and then come back to PyCharm. Instead, we build right here. PyCharm picks up pyproject.toml and cargo.toml, drives the compilation, and drops the compile.so directly into the Python package. Same image, same algorithm, faster. The rest of the application has no idea anything changed. And that's the point. You don't rewrite your whole project, you find the bottleneck, replace it, and move on. You can also navigate between the two languages. Next to fast escape count in the Python code, you'll see a small Rust icon in the gutter. Click it, and PyCharm jumps straight to the Rust implementation and back. And you can debug the Rust function right inside PyCharm. Let's set a breakpoint here and hit debug. You can step through the code, inspect C, watch Z evolve exactly as you would with Python code. This is what without leaving PyCharm actually means. Not just that the files are in the same window, but the entire development loop, build, run, debug, lives in one place. There is more to come, so stay tuned. In PyCharm 2026.1.2, we added support for workspaces. My colleague Paul, who also got some work off my back by helping out with this screencast, so thank you Paul, he has put together a great 12-minute video on it. Here, I'll do a quick recap. Managing all the interconnecting packages of a workspace is a pain. Virtual environments across all projects, keeping them in sync, and so on. Before, you'd have to open a separate PyCharm window to deal with workspaces. But now, when you open a workspace, PyCharm automatically detects it if you have a pyproject.toml describing the environment in it. Under Settings, Project Structure, you can see all workspace members. The project dependencies view helps with visualization. Work starts with a workspace virtual environment, right? Go to pyproject.toml and PyCharm offers to set up the environment with one click. It installs the required Python version, creates the virtual environment, and assigns the project interpreter. If the environment already exists in your system because you've created it from the command line, PyCharm will understand it and set it up as an interpreter for this project. What will happen if we go to Python version and change it? Back in pyproject.toml, you will see a small icon in the top right, UV Sync. Click it and PyCharm creates a new virtual environment with the updated Python version. Another nice touch, the Python packaging tool window is now workspace aware. PyCharm also helps with dependency management in UV workspaces. If you write code that references an uninstalled package, PyCharm flags it, hover over the error, click Install and Import Package, then hover over the import and record it as dependency. The same experience you'd expect outside of a workspace. Finally, let's run some code. As you can see, the run configuration uses the project interpreter, which is the virtual environment set at workspace level. With UV workspace support in PyCharm, managing complex multi-package projects is no longer a juggling act across separate windows and terminals. Python has so many good tools. PyCharm 2026.2 makes it easy to use them directly in the IDE, even if you don't have them installed. PyCharm has long-down formatting, linting, type checking. You know, all those dev tools in your pyproject.toml. I've got here a group of dev tools that I want to use. You can now use them directly without extra installs or setups. For example, I want to use rough whenever PyCharm wants to reformat code. Head to our new settings panel. Go to Python, Tools, External Tools. When you turn on, for example, rough support, it is now the formatter. See the UVX part? UVX is the preferred way to run tools without permanently installing them. That means PyCharm can use rough even if you don't have it installed in the virtual environment or system. Nice! If you hover over it, click on the little icon and configure rough. You can use it for inspections, formatting, import optimizer. They are enabled by default, but you can also configure them. Now you'll see inline code warnings with rough, including fixes. Rough replaces our formatter not only when you decide to reformat code, but it actually replaces our formatter for things that come to you, that tell you about the problem, rather than making you do something to fix the problem. For example, in this line you have a problem. If you hover it, you will see the rough warning, including fixes. You can also set up these tools to run on actions, such as save. Go to Tools, Actions on Save, and I'll activate the reformat code to run every time the file is saved. It is a really nice feature, allowing you to run project-appropriate tools directly from PyCharm, wired into existing editor features, without the need to jump to a terminal or write extra scripts, while also keeping versions and environments under control. PyCharm now has official support for minimaps, a quick and visual way to look at your code. Minimaps work for both Jupyter notebooks and standalone files, allowing click-to-jump navigation and can be completely customized. Let's look at a Jupyter notebook that attempts to predict World Cup results. As you can see, it's hard to navigate through a long notebook or find the right cells. A minimap solves this problem. You can enable minimaps through the Search Everywhere bar. Type Shift-Shift, type in minimap, and click on the toggle to turn it on. Then, as you scroll through the project, you can see where you are. You can even click with your mouse to jump to a specific cell. And you can move the minimap from the right to the left side of the screen. Minimaps also work for files. Here, we are looking at the FastAPI source code. Another way to turn minimaps on is via the three vertical dots on the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Select Show Minimap. It works for Python, CSS, JavaScript, and even HTML files. The structured hover option is one of my favorite features. As you scroll on the minimap, you can see code sections, classes, and functions. Simply click to go directly there. If you want a global look at the entire file, in Minimap settings you can change the scale from fill to fit. Now the entire file, no matter how long it is, will appear in a single minimap. And if for some reason you don't like structured hover, you can always turn it off. Minimaps are a great way to visualize, navigate, and reason about your code, and we're thrilled to offer them in 2026.2. Pyrefly is Meta's next-generation Python type checker built in Rust from the ground up. It is significantly faster than traditional type engines, and in PyCharm 2026.1.2, you can now use it directly as your type provider, getting immediate diagnostics, inlay hints, and quick documentation, without any extra step. To start using Pyrefly in your project, click on the Types widget at the bottom, then choose Pyrefly. If you don't have it installed yet, PyCharm will install it automatically. Once it's set up, you'll see the Pyrefly icon at the bottom. Hover over it to check which version you're using. From there, click on Type Engine Settings to choose what you'd like Pyrefly to power. I'll enable both inlay hints and documentation. Now, let's see it in action by comparing it to the built-in type engine. I'll test the same file, so the difference is more evident. With a built-in type engine, the IDE recognizes that the variable ref is incorrectly typed, but it needs further investigation to pinpoint the problem. Switch to Pyrefly, and the errors are reported immediately, with highlights showing exactly where they originate. You can also notice the inlay hints appearing in storage, audit, and reservations. One thing to keep in mind: the integration currently works for local interpreter configurations. Support for Jupyter Notebooks, Docker, Docker Compose, WSL, SSH, and multi-module projects is planned for future releases. In our previous release, we introduced debugpy, Microsoft's open-source debugger built on the debug adapter protocol, bringing improved async debugging, native modern Python support, and the new attached-to-deb configuration for local processes and Docker. Starting with this release, debugpy is now on by default. No migration, no extra setup, it just works. Here is a quick look. I have some simple code, I'll drop a breakpoint, and when I hit debug, you can see the debugger mode is already set to debugpy. Step over, step into, everything feels familiar. You won't need to change a thing about how you debug. If you missed what debugpy brings to the table, check out our previous What's New video for a full walkthrough of its capabilities. AI agents are only as good as what you give them. Skills are how you extend that, reusable units of functionality that give agents specific capabilities without touching their core behavior. Think debugging CI failures, automating browser flows, migrating Java to Kotlin, and in 2026.2 we're bringing native skill support to Claude Agent and Codex. To get started, open the AI chat, click on the plus button, then Skills. This is your central hub. Browse everything available, see where each skill comes from, read its description, and decide if it fits before you install anything. And that last part matters. Skills can come from everywhere, including registries you haven't vetted. Don't install blindly. That's why JetBrains ships a curated registry out of the box, screened for prompt injections and malicious code. A verified starting point you can actually trust. Skills can be loaded from local directories or external registries. For local directories, go to Manage Skill Directories. You can scope them globally across the projects or limit them to just the current one. For external registries, go to Manage External Registries and paste in the GitHub URL to any registry you want to pull from. Once configured, all your available and installed skills live under AI Assistant Skills. See something you want? Hit the plus button and it's ready to use in chat. And to invoke a skill directly, type the $sign followed by the skill name, then your prompt. And that's it! More capable agents and less setup. This release is about one thing: keeping up with how Python development actually looks today. Rust for the hot path, an agent skills manager, continuous improvements on UV support, and better workspace and monorepo handling for bigger code bases. There is also the usual round of performance improvements and refinements that make everyday work feel smoother, worth exploring on your own. To see the full list of updates, check out our What's New page. And download PyCharm 2026.2 today, free forever with 1 month of Pro included. As always, we'd love to hear what you think. Your feedback shapes what comes next, and we can't wait to see what you build.